I suppose we shall pick back up where we left off. That being in the midst of a rather, I don't want to say raucous party, because this is not exactly a house party with the music bumping downstairs, but a celebration by Lady Wachter and her closest allies of her triumph in the recent coup in Valaki. We will rejoin the four of you and also Rictavio, who is leaning back against one of the bookshelves in this attic library, looking rather unhappy, as you surround the corpse of Viktor Valikovich, who you just recently allowed Lady Wachter to slay. Voices drift up from below as she entertains in the drawing room that you've all been so often invited to. But in the room, there's not much noise at the moment, other than the slow drip of blood pooling below his chair, and the constant purring and chirping of the way too many cats in this room, one of which wanders over and kind of laps at the pool of blood. So yes, you are left with the corpse of one rather unpleasant gentleman who, under, shall we say, enhanced interrogation, really seemed mostly, so shall we say, beset with delusions of grandeur and believing that he belonged somewhere else, somewhere far greater, and was willing to do anything to anyone in order to make those dreams come true. So yes, at the moment, again, other than Rictavio, just sort of, that was bloody unpleasant. Do we leave the remains for her to do with it she pleases, or are we going to be spiriting him away somewhere so she doesn't do anything too vile with them?
You want some trophies?
I was gonna take a hand naturally, but I mean, if we got bigger plans, you know.
And
He
we
kind of
need to tell the
shrugs.
guard
Mm-hmm.
that he resisted in custody and had to be put down. How will he react when he sees a missing hand?
I have a disguise kit.
It's a fair point.
Wax hand.
I'm not saying
Was
don't take
what?
the hand. Just have a good alibi, I guess.
Well, you know, seeing that
Have a good help.
this is one of our first hunts that, you know, I probably shouldn't want to take credit for, seeing that there's things we want to hide. So maybe it's best I don't leave my signature calling card with this particular dead body.
Yeah. I mean, you could always like take a piece of flesh.
It's not the same. It's the hand or nothing. It's okay. You know, don't assert
Rictavio
myself.
just kind of shakes his head.
Dude, just give him a fake hand in its place. You know, just be like, dude, you had a, fake hand this entire time.
If you make me a fake hand, Romir, I'll keep that instead. I'll cherish it.
What about the flesh inscribed with spells?
That sounds pretty sweet.
There's a suspicion, as far as I'm concerned, that he probably needed to be alive for any of those runes to work, but it may be wise to run a dagger through a few of them, or do what we can to disfigure the skin, just in case.
Irvir will look to Rolmir.
You want to do the slicing, I think is what Irvir was asking.
Yeah, I could give it a whirl. Just a sleight of hand.
Not even necessarily. He's currently an object. not a person. So there's not really a question of whether or not you can kind of scratch your dagger through what you need to. Maybe an investigation, if anything, just to make sure you get them all.
Boom, the room blows up.
Oof, was quite good. Yeah, so you saw him use one from his forearm, one from the other forearm, but you do kind of a cursory inspection without having to like fully strip him nude. But you do find another one sort of kind of on his side where he probably would have had to lift up a shirt to get at it, and another one hidden on his ankle under the boot, which while you might pat someone down for a knife, you probably don't pat someone down for suspicious scarring there. You can guess probably something he would have used to escape captivity in one way or another. And yeah, just kind of dragging a knife through, just making sure that you ruin the carefully laid out ritualistic scars there. You're able to void, hopefully, those two potential spells. That does lead to one more question. I don't know if we'd actually come to an agreement, but remember you did find some of those particularly dark spell scrolls. Irvir, I think you had them. Did you wish to just destroy them, or what are you going to do with them? Since I think we forgot to resolve
I believe Animate Dead was the only one earlier kept. I think that was the only one that was against his religion, and he will destroy it during prayer time.
Okay, fair enough. Just sort of a little bit of, while not truly the spell consecrate, but an effect to kind of lessen the evil of that as it's destroyed. Fair enough. So at this point, it is kind of mid-afternoon. We'll just say that the clock can kind of progress. You had already spoken to the captain of guard and warned him that this may happen. I think with some careful application of your disguise kit, Ralmir, you can make the wounds you had to make look a little bit more like they happened in a scrap, and that he had attempted to resist being captured. Besides, they did know there was a fight before you brought him in.
Well, if I recall, too, the guard without saying was like,
yes, if he dies, he dies. Right. But
fact,
he did also
we'll
ask that you let him know.
Yeah. So that I think is on the agenda.
Mm-hmm. As you inform him of this tragic passing, you're going to provide him the corpse, or you're going to leave him for Lady Wachter?
I think providing him the corpse would be better.
Okay. He'll ensure you that he'll be treated with the appropriate amount of respect. And kind of a narrowing of the eyes as he looks down at the body. Such a shame that he did not survive your questioning. And he kind of shrugs. No matter. But I thank you for informing me. And he and his men will carry the body away. As you are just sort of wandering back, I assume either to the Wachter Manor or to the Blue Water, Rictavia will pull you aside. Today's been trying for a number of reasons, but I thought that perhaps Relda and I ought to slip away for a little bit, look in on what's been going on at that re-education camp.
Re-education camp, hell yeah.
I doubt there's anything of any sort of magical importance, just a lot of mundane human cruelty. And while you're all sort of needed for public appearances and making nice with the mistress, I don't feel too good about leaving that to linger, as it were. I have a feeling the guards will be dismantling things, but the two of us can provide a little bit of magical aid, though nothing quite as skilled as you, Hervier, of course. You've seen him cast Cure Wounds, so you know he does have that at his disposal. Not to mention, I figure it might be, well, bit of a mood killer. And I will say that also, I feel similarly out of character. I'll walk through it if you guys would like, but it is just unpleasant. And we can dwell on it if you'd like, but it's up to you.
I think if there wasn't anything that, like, you think would be particularly interesting in that visit, like, it was on the agenda to also get there, but just probably not today. Probably see how tonight goes and then go tomorrow. But if we're just saying, like, hey, it's going to go fine, just let Rictavio and Relda handle it, then we can move past it. I'm okay with that, too.
Yes. At this point, there's not a lot that you can't determine after... Well, that you wouldn't determine after interacting with Victor. There are a few additional test subjects of his, but Rictavio also has the ability to do the minor healing that would be required, including curing conditions and whatnot. He may be bringing some people to you for a remove curse if necessary. There's not a lot of information to find, and it is just kind of...
Exactly. Like, yeah, if there's something you can't handle, bring him to me tomorrow, and I'll see what I can do.
Yes. Not to shy away from
even,
anything.
Actually.
Fair enough.
They do still have some spell slots.
And little do we know, they might get captured, and then we have to rescue them. It'd be a whole thing. It'd be fun.
Also true.
And yeah, Irvin,
I will be rolling
tell
behind
send
the
me
screen.
a message if you need backup.
Of course. I think at this point it's probably not likely to be particularly, shall we say, full of resistance. And any guards that don't see fit to transition over to the new order of things are likely to not put up too much of a fight for the two of us. But I will send a sending if there's anything else that we need. And of course, any of the more critical patients I'll bring to you. But yeah, I don't want you to think I'm shying away from the ick too much. It's just miserable. I don't know what else to say. It's just a lot of descriptions of a house of torture, and you don't really learn anything. It's also a waste of time, given how little time we have to play. So, but I will check to see if there is anything that goes wrong, and we'll report accordingly after the NPCs get to it. But yeah, he'll kind of bow out, and we'll move off at a little bit of a jog to find Esmeralda and sort all of that out. Which I guess leaves the question of, is there anything you guys would like to do in the couple of hours you might have before the evening's proper festivities kick off? Remember, it has been promised that is not the right map. I apologize, that's Barovia. You're not there.
I've seen this place before.
You Valaki.
There we go.
Yes. There is a promise of a rather large equivalent of a Thanksgiving feast to be taking place this evening at the Blue Water. But you have, a couple of hours that you could do things if you'd like. Or, of course, we can always pass that with you assisting poor Danica and Erwin as they prepare to feed 500 people in an inn that seats 40.
I think I talked about
you talked about hunting,
yeah,
to sort of bulk things out.
Beast and trying to go on a little huntage. I'll dire wolf it up. He's kind of like a giant panther, right?
Yes, he is actually a saber-toothed tiger equipped with half-plate.
Okay, well, I want to match his energy. Can I turn into a panther? Maybe. Let's see what panthers are. I'll be some other cat-like beast with him, so our cat...
Sure.
A panther's a quarter, yeah, I can do a panther. But
okay.
I need an hour to rest, and then, of course, I'd probably take him an hour out of town, and
sure.
we'd go hunting and, find some, male deer and try our best to avoid the females. I do my best to communicate that with them. I'm don't know if he's gonna have the wherewithal. And yeah, we're trying giving back some meat for the party.
Sure.
And of course, you know, maybe having a couple snacks on the way. You know what I mean?
Well, naturally. Don't spoil your appetite, though.
At least for my big dog.
Right. Sure. Let's see if you find anything particularly interesting. As a reminder, unfortunately, the local animal life is rather limited.
Right, you told me deer wasn't
There's
gonna
not
be
a
like
lot of.
Yeah.
Yes, it's going to be mostly wolves, actually,
That's
if
what you were saying.
anything.
Yeah.
But go ahead and give me nature or survival, your choice. Very good. Okay. So I think, given the fact that, of course, the two of you are a little bit limited in what you can carry beyond perhaps a corpse or two each, I think you could easily say you can bring back 4 rather large carcasses with you. But also, you find something kind of interesting as you're out roaming around the woods. Let me double check that my geography is correct here. Give me just one tick. Okay. Yes. As you are roaming around, you find what looks like a fragment of perhaps like a brooch or an amulet. And the reason that you stumble over it is that to you, it, for lack of a better descriptor, smells like magic. Whatever this was probably some sort of particularly valuable, wondrous item. And you can see it's made of gold and there are fragments of gems socketed in it. This is something that smacks to you of maybe an adventurer leaving it behind. And as you kind of nudge it over and flip it with your nose, on the back of it, you see part of what looks to you like maybe a letter M or an N. And on the half of it that you have 4 circles, or maybe they're zeros or O's around it as well.
Okay.
And scattered nearby are several bits of chain that you think probably fixed it to whatever it was broken from.
Okay. Woof, woof. Whatever I am. And I will scoop up. I'll probably have to unwild shape at some point and scoop up as many components as I can, and then go back to the hunting. Maybe
Fair enough.
At some point.
We can mark that off. Let's just, for representation, say you find it, up here in the northwesterly woods. But yes, you're able to bring back quite a bit of meat. There was going to be a fair bit to begin with, but additionally, now there's less that'll need to be relying on sort of thinning the stew and soup and everything. And I have no doubt that you are a talented enough hunter to also help dress those carcasses and portion them down pretty quickly to get them ready for Danica.
Skin some of them, give it away to the local tanner. I don't need it any money. Just,
sure.
Happy festival day, whatever you guys celebrate.
There were those 2 drunken hunters that attempted to kidnap that poor Vistana girl. They did get all their fingers broken and haven't been able to make any money recently. I don't know if you want to take pity on them or if that puts you off because they were hunting children. But they're an option. They seem to be the ones that provide the pelts for the village.
I'll go to them and just let them know, like, hey, I'm a pretty degenerate, disgusting, son of a Malar, but I don't hunt kids. Okay, so maybe you should start questioning yourself when the guy covered in blood all the time. I got a bag full of hands right now, and I'm telling you moral standings. You should question that a little bit.
That is the most casual intimidation check I've ever seen. But also, the two of them are certainly not only a little bit skittish, but very apologetic. Not so much in the sense of just like saying sorry repeatedly, but they explain, now that you've had a chance to really, kind of talk to them when they're not drunk out of their minds. But the whole thing was, well, fueled by alcohol and the feedback loop of the two of them just wanting to do something. They were working off of a rumor that they had heard from a traveler that a sacrifice to the lake might bring protection to the village. And they promise they won't do anything so stupid again.
Well, you gotta draw a line somewhere.
And they thank you very much for this gift. It'll help keep food on the table, as it were. But yeah, anybody else want to do anything specific? Or can we kind of jump in?
I mean, I could help out Danica, like prepare like the food and stuff.
Sure. It's a madhouse in the Blue Water in a good way. Everybody's in a great mood, but there's like far too many people working. Danica and Erwin have set up think like a camping stove where they basically got like big braced metal crossbeams and a spit over a large bonfire in the back. And they're rapidly working, hanging multiple soup pots over this and multiple large, literally like a whole leg of wolf that they've got turning on this. And they are cooking as fast as possible. And when nobody else is back there, you catch both of them working a little faster than you would think possible for a normal person.
Right. And where's Narlock at? Is he close by?
Yes.
And then I go up to him though and ask for a bump.
Bust out a little line of meat pie. So here you go, bud.
You hoping for a haste, or are you hoping for cocaine?
It's the same thing.
And as you snort that meat pie, Gnarly will cast haste on you.
Here's the line of crushed orphan children, says the good orc.
That's the good orc addict. But anyway, yes, they're very appreciative for the help. And really what it sort of turns out, unless you happen to have a particular talent for cooking, is just them sort of telling you to keep an eye on things like, please stir that while you watch to make sure this doesn't burn.
Yeah.
Because there's just too much going on for the two of them to manage it entirely alone.
Yeah.
And as things are finishing, they've got Brom and Bray, the little kids, dragging whole soup pots inside. And again, these kids are like 8, but you watch one of them pick up what must be like an 8-gallon, cast iron pot, just lift it up and carry it inside. The kids definitely also have a touch of something supernatural about them. But I think at this point, both Danica and Erwin trust you enough to let down that guard a little bit. Ervir, are you spending this time in contemplation and prayer and getting rid of that dark material, or is there something else you would like to do?
Nah, that'll be at prayer time. I think right now he would either be helping at the Blue Water, or if it looks like there are too many hands, he'd probably just head over to the church.
Sure.
And see how everyone is getting on there.
I think that's probably actually an interesting scene to cut to as well. You would find that Father Lucian is actually conducting not so much services as more, I guess you could call it a community meeting, right? Prayers to the Morning Lord tend to happen at dawn, and on rare occasion at dusk, reinforcing that just because the sun is gone for the day does not mean it will not rise tomorrow. But right now, the pews are relatively full. Usually, yes. Every morning, you'd say they're just about this full, and it seems that most, if not all, of the faithful have kind of congregated here just to look to Father Lucian for guidance. And he, while not naming you in any way, occasionally will just kind of cast a glance in your direction as he hammers on the fact that, all of us are certainly aware that, well, Lord Valakovich was far from the most gentle of guiding hands, and while his lineage has led this village for generations, there are other old and stable families here that can certainly lead us towards a new dawn. And with the assistance of these great heroes, and he, gestures to you, that have come to us in our hour of aid, I have no doubt that we will yet again, someday soon, walk in the proper light of dawn, not this shaded gray mist that we must make ourselves comfortable with at the moment. This transition is not an ending, it is just the beginning of a new chapter. And he, goes on in that sort of vein. And you see people are certainly anxious, but as he begins to talk and, kind of carries this, not quite sermon, but almost more lecture, you see the mood kind of shift for most of these people. There are still certainly some who wring their hands and, hold their cloaks tightly against themselves, even indoors. But you'd say a good 90% or more of them seem, at least if not happy, reassured by the end of this, perhaps about an hour talk that he gives. Irina and Milivoy stand off to the side, not like at the altar or anything, but kind of in the back of the room, and both give you sort of little appreciative nods. And you can tell as they kind of lean their heads together a couple times throughout this meeting that she's kind of both apologizing for not allowing him to be more directly involved, but also just kind of encouraging him to redouble what he's been doing, which is dedicating himself to the community and helping the people that he can. And after the whole thing sort of concludes, he gives you a knowing look and a nod, sort of seemingly in thanks. You did ask him to not get tangled up in all of it, after all. But yeah.
Not just that. Irvy asked him to look after the kids and everything, doing all that shit too. So I think Irvy would return the gesture, hoping he understood.
Mm-hmm. No, of course.
That he did exactly what was needed.
And you see that, you've seen that in him over the last couple times you've interacted with him. Like, he was starting to grow, I don't want to say exhausted, because it sounds like he's, not fond of helping the kids, just sort of stagnant in what he's been doing. But I think a good reminder that it is helping goes a long way for him, and you can tell.
I think that's the beat that Irvy will repeatedly try to get through in conversations. Like, we all just want to do what we can, and what I can do is different from what other people can do. But right now, you can do this, and someone needs to do it.
And I think you see that shift in him kind of finally click into place, if that makes sense. I will leave his sort of arc there for now, but there may be more from him in the future. But yes, Father Lucian dismisses the people. Please return to your homes. If there is any lingering stress from today's events, please leave it at your doors and join all of us for a celebration tonight. The whole town will be in attendance, and, it should be a proper hearty meal for once. And yeah, people begin to kind of filter out. And just as a quick thing, he'll find you afterward. I don't wish to know the details of what exactly has transpired here. And I will admit that he kind of glances around to make sure nobody's really listening other than Irina. I have my concerns about Lady Wachter. I do think that being free of the Baron's grasp will be good for the hearts and minds of the people. I am not some pacifist that doesn't understand that sometimes, well, the hedges must require trimming in order to remain healthy. But I thank you for sparing me from any of the details.
We all have our parts to play, Father. And we'll keep you in your role as best as possible. And don't think I don't share your concerns. We're not done yet. But tonight will be a good night for celebration.
He smiles and nods, and I do think we could all use it. And yeah, just kind of claps you on the shoulder as he heads back to the lectern to collect his materials and everything and make himself ready for tonight. But yes, things progress on towards not quite dusk, as you know that the city does tend to shut down shortly after dark due to, well, the obvious weather patterns of cloudy with a chance of vampire. But in sort of the late afternoon, people do begin to congregate, and you see that there's a odd collection of furniture that has been dragged from assorted homes. Every table in the inn has been brought out onto the lawn, and sort of basically every square open space surrounding the Blue Water has been piled high with plenty of seating for at least most of the town. The dishes and you know, the plates, the cups, the silverware, everything is horrendously mismatched, but it's a representation of the town coming all together again, whereas before everybody seems to kind of have been keeping to their own business and not mixing too much. As you all congregate and the feast is laid out, assorted cuts of roast wolf, an actual surprising contribution, seemingly from Lady Wachter, of a very large aged wheel of cheese. Remember, dairy is almost as rare as eggs in this setting, and she's the only one with living dairy cows. All sorts of varieties of, vintages, rather to say, not varieties, of wine, plenty of smaller home-brewed meads and such. And what few vegetables could be cobbled together this time of year, along with endless loaves of bread, are laid out on a massive sort of buffet-style table. And as the last of it sort of hits the display, Lady Wachter will step forward from inside the building, along with the wealthy merchant and baker that sort of promised this whole thing. And while we won't dwell on the specific words of her speech, she speaks to, well, the coming of a new dawn for Valaki, and that this night of feast and plenty should serve as a reminder of what she and her compatriots, she gestures to the baker, for example, can offer the people. And the most, I think, probably meaningful thing that she says that seems to resonate with the crowd is, no longer shall we hoard what should be the communities and funnel it towards those of us at the top. My family has been well established for many generations here. The taxes collected by Lord Valakovich were burdensome. These meaningless festivals that he forced you all to endure put far too much strain on a community that was forced to walk with bent backs and bowed heads. No more shall forced cheer be the order of the day. Instead, I shall establish a community group, a head from each of our important industries, and several rotating members of those of you who simply work within this village. We shall make decisions together. We shall lead things onward towards a brighter future. And thanks for all of this change goes to our wonderful heroes. And she gestures to all of you, wherever you may be scattered throughout the crowd. You have come from beyond the fog to save us, I think in the short time you have been here, we can all tell, she says, looking around and making eye contact with several assorted people in the crowds. These Outworlders are different. The winds are changing, and soon Valaki shall see the sun once again. She lets that moment dwell in silence for a moment before clapping her hands together once loudly, rings clacking off of each other. But for now, we feast. Please, not everybody at once. You, and she'll point to a string of tables, to the front of the line, and we'll proceed orderly. And she kind of sets to sort of organizing as people begin to flood up, carrying their plates and piling everything high with food. There is plenty for all, and we shall enjoy it merrily. And she'll step away. And as she passes, let's say, Ralmir, do come see me after the festivities have concluded. I believe there is payment that I owe to you and your friends. And she will nod and just kind of walk on without letting it seem like you're chatting too much. But if you have something to say real quick, go ahead.
No, this is more just like a question when she was giving her speech. How she made, how you said how she made eye contact with like certain people though.
Mm-hmm.
Was I able to pinpoint like who she was making eye contact to, or was it too like, or was it too...
Sure. I think that's certainly something you could track, especially given your innate talents. But you guys have had a list of like who you think are her direct conspirators. It seems this was more of her like trying to make an effort to connect with the community. She picked people kind of at random, trying to make them feel seen, as it were. One of the members to have been a cultist, but you think that might have been random. But she picks like a small boy and like a lonely widow, and it's just people. So
it's
that
not
they
like
feel
she's like acting like she's like townspeople, but they were really just cultists. I didn't know if it was like that.
You don't get that vibe, I don't think.
I was on the same wavelength as you, Frank. Good thinking.
Mm-hmm. No. Smart to double check. I'm sorry if that was unclear. I was just trying to make her a relatable public speaker.
I mean, with her, you never know.
Right.
Absolutely. She is a schemer. But I will say, if you're questioning kind of like any of the things that might have stood out there, you might think on what she was saying about forming kind of a city council by the sound of it.
Yeah, there was also that.
If she's rotating through random members of the community, that sounds to you, coming from your background with the cult, it might be random, or it might be an opportunity for her to pull certain people kind of closer into her web, as it were.
Yeah, like I suspected those random people aren't exactly random.
Mm-hmm.
It all sounded like a Jonestown speech to me.
I'm glad it did.
I did wonder.
You already know she's a cult
leader. The food, right? I was like, oh, right. We made the food. She can't have done that.
Right.
Thank God. But I was worried if I had to check the Kool-Aid for poison.
I mean, the worst thing out of like that stew I was spilling, I don't know, maybe like a little bit of meat pie got into it. So.
Oh no! The town gonna be tripping balls. And that's how Frank made 500 junkies.
Revolt against the new leader.
But yes, I think as you kind of watch this, go ahead.
I should have put what was that stuff called? And I should have put some
poison in that shit.
Oh, yeah, no, I should have put the laughing elixir in the stew.
Oh no!
Just leave.
We'd all be dead.
Die. Yes, that's how Valaki became a wasteland full of cackling zombies.
Took out all their leaders just to earn their trust and have them eat a feast, and then killed them all.
And killed them all. Love it when a plan comes together. But yes, I think mostly this just seems to be an evening of general peace and enjoyment for the townsfolk. And funnily enough, I think while at first it might be concerning, there are a few people who, while they're eating, just kind of quietly begin to cry. But as Irvir, I'm sure, is one of the more empathetic people here, you'd immediately kind of be like, what is that about? You notice that it's sort of just like a release of tension more than anything. Like, that this has been a, functionally a fascist regime that you have toppled, and people are just kind of like letting some of that stress finally go. But people eat and drink and are merry until stomachs are full. People are a little bit wobbly from the booze. And as darkness does begin to fall, just ever so slightly past dusk, people start to kind of totter home in groups. And for once, there are no calls of curfew from the guards. In fact, instead, the guards seem to be kind of helping anybody who needs a hand back to their homes. Though you do notice there are a few less than usual. Perhaps something to do with any true loyalists that needed to be rooted out.
Yes, had to be cleansed.
I think Irvir would actually bring food to any guards that are like at their posts that aren't necessarily participating in the feast itself due to their ongoing actual loyalty to the city.
Right, they actually have a job to do.
Yeah.
And there are a few of those for sure. One of which happens to be Mikkel, who is very thankful for a warm plate and a mug of wine. But yeah, he just talks to you briefly about what went down and why there are less guards. Well, it wasn't exactly. That's a little too. Sorry, Rictavio. It wasn't exactly a smooth transition, but honestly, I think most of us, once the looming threat of punishment was removed, realized that, well, the cruelties that we have been committing are not something we enjoy. Though a small group did make a stand at the re-education facility. They were cut down, and she like holds up a hand, rightfully so, by that. I don't think I recognized him. An old man with gray hair, and that Vistana woman I've seen with you a few times.
Particularly crotchety?
I suppose that would be a good descriptor. You'd kind of chuckle. Thankfully, as far as I understand it, none of the detainees were harmed. The two of them saw to simple first aid and ensuring that they were moved to places where they could convalesce more comfortably. And he just kind of scratches and fidgets. I think perhaps it'll take some time for people to be, welcome back from their previous status by many of the villagers. There were cruelties done, even if not necessarily pleasure was taken. But I think perhaps tonight was a good start. Many of the men were off duty, and mixing in with the feast probably went a decent way towards, seeing us out of uniform. The captain said that rather than remaining dressed as members of the watch at all times, it would be wise for when we are not actively standing watch or on patrol that we simply return to normal clothing, build less of a divide between us and the town.
But now, on my way here to you, seeing the guards actually helping people find their homes rather than call for them to stay inside. Starting to serve the people instead of serving their master. It's already steps being taken.
And he smiles. I hope things continue in this direction. Of course, it is probably safe for people to remain, at least, if not in their homes, inside the walls, in And he kind of looks up at the sky. When the sun is no longer watching over us, but I think people know this. It is better if it is their own idea than one that is forced upon them. You know?
Exactly. They know the risk they're taking, which not a huge risk as long as they're within the walls. At least, not one most people could do anything about.
He kind of winces at that. It is true, though thankfully, for whatever reason, and he leans and knocks superstitiously on the wall behind him next to his post. The things that harrow us beyond the walls do not seem determined to get past them. I have no doubt, as you've seen, that our Dark Overlord could simply arrive whenever he wished. But, well, for whatever reason, we seem to be beneath his notice as long as things stay quiet here. And I hope they shall remain as such. But yeah, kind of fidgets, drinks. Oh, that's actually really good. Normally, guards' rations are not quite so well seasoned. Thank you again for thinking of me and the rest of us who are on post. I see you have many deliveries left to make. I will not hold you.
Very well. And thank you for your help with making sure that things went a little bit more smoothly today.
He nods and kind of glances around conspiratorially, though who would he be hiding it from at this point? Of course, it needed to be done. I wish perhaps things could have been a little bit, well, gentler in transition, but sometimes a tree must be felled.
I wish the same, and yet you have no idea how relieved I am that little to no blood was shed.
He nods. I suppose you are right. It could have been much worse. But thank you for ensuring that it wasn't.
I hope you have an uneventful watch and enjoy your
That is always the hope, he says, and kind of air toasts to you with the mug before taking a drink. But yeah, you kind of make the rounds, bring some food to each of the guards that are posted at the gates. And Valiki's not very big, so it doesn't take you too long. But as things are kind of winding down, would you all filter your way towards Wachter House, or?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd make my way over there.
Don't sound too greedy there, Frank.
No.
All right.
Time to get the loot.
Give me the loot! Give me the loot!
Let's see. I think we will pick up back in the actual house, but as you're entering, there is something that I would like to point out, though I don't really want to represent it on the map because it'd be really awkward to try and cram you all into the spot where it would happen. But there's that entryway and kind of opens up to the little closets and then leads into the house. As you are shown in by one of the maids, I think all of you have a passive perception over 10, correct?
Yeah.
18.
I have 11.
Yeah, I know Irvir, yours is very high, and I assume Ayakabachi's is pretty good as well. But as you enter and move through, hang on a second. you catch through the door to the kitchens, which I think you've probably all seen a peek into, but have not been into yourself, the voices of Carl and Nikolai. It seems they're attempting to kind of whisper back and forth, but not succeeding as their voices get a little bit heated. And you catch...
Drunk.
No. If anything, actually, Nikolai has a little bit less of the sort of lazy air he often puts on. You don't understand. It was something with cold beyond her eyes. She just took the dagger and plunged it into his chest. You must have misseen things, brother. There's no way. Mother would never dirty her hands in such a... You don't understand, Carl. I saw it myself. And though I do not understand how, when I went back to the library to confirm, not only had the Outlanders vanished, but so had the evidence of the crime. Something is wrong here. Something beyond just these secret payments. And as you all kind of move through, I think without lingering too extensively or suspiciously, that's all you might hear. Though if one of you would like to stay back, perhaps that is an option.
I'm the sneakiest one, and I'm the one that
is kind of expected as the guest of honor. Yes.
This isn't like a job for Woodward.
I'm saying, if you just give me a look, just let me know.
Oh, it could be. I didn't even think about that.
I could become a little tiny spider and listen. You know.
Yeah.
If Webber's here and then I'm not controlling him, he's just a spider.
Oh, you're kind of just like staying, like.
I'd be like, "What's wrong with Yakobachi?" You're just like,
Yo, he's in a food coma. Don't worry about it.
Bueller me the whole time. Yeah, he's okay.
It's Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah. Earlier.
Thank you.
Take one bite of food and just
right
at the table as you your brain goes to the spider.
If you want to grab my thing, I'll stick around. I mean, I don't know how we can communicate this with one look, but I feel like that's what you're looking at me for.
I think you guys have been together long enough that a meaningful, hook of the head.
Yeah, once I get past the head and turn a corner, I'll
even if you just need to run to the little druid's room and head back outside, you could easily slip back in under the door. So in that case, I'm gonna move you into the kitchen.
Yep.
We'll say you just kind of scuttle along the wall, and I will move everybody else into the main room. Seated in the chairs around the fire seem to be several wealthier ladies of the town. And given that all of them are wearing openly, for once, identical gold and ruby ring to one that you've seen Lady Wachter wear, it seems to have a small symbol engraved in it. You can probably assume these are members of the cult. And in fact, they all kind of watch you almost as one as you enter, and each of them offers a little seated bow. But as she welcomes you in and sort of shows you to the second feast of the evening, as well as several boxes laid out on the table in front of her, we will finish up that conversation as Spider Bocce catches a little bit more from Carl and Nikolai. You lost a second or two, probably more like 10, as you had to dip out and then scuttle back in. But we'll pick up again. And Nikolai is actually kind of blocking the door so that Carl can't leave, talking animatedly to him with an arm out so that Carl can't just duck out. And Carl is kind of leaned back and seems a little bit in disagreement, but he's not trying to shove past Nikolai or anything. And they've brought their voices back down to more of a whisper. Carl, you must understand. I know that thick skull of yours sometimes lets things bounce off of it, but we both have noticed unusual activity We both have noticed that they come and go from all hours through the basement, and we both know there is a door down there that neither of us can open. There must be a reason. And you see Carl step back and kind of... What could you possibly be implying? You know her. You've known her your whole life. She can be cold, yes, but she can also be caring. You see how she is with little Stella. There's no way that she could be a murderer, even if she does despise the Valakovich family. I can't be here, Carl. I know she will want me at her side tonight, but this is too much. This is wrong. And Nikolai will turn and just shove his way out of the door, and you hear the front door open and close as he strides out into the night relatively quickly. And Carl just stands there for a moment. What does he want from me? He says to himself, just kind of... It can't be true. And he also leaves. Give me a perception check, please. I think you're muted. Okay. As Carl dips out of the door, you spot on the table over here, there are a number of things laid out that were used to prepare this feast. Little, like a little salt cellar and seasonings and scraps of food and yada yada. And you spot out of the corner of one of your 8 eyes, a little bit of, let's say, scattered thyme, THYME, not TIME, sprinkled out across the countertop, is disturbed as something brushes against it invisibly. And the door takes just a little bit too long to swish shut, as you pretty sure you heard, or perhaps as a spider more, felt the vibration of teeny tiny feet skittering across the floor.
Okay. So that little monster dude. Okay. And then once I think the coast is clear, I'll make my way out of there. Maybe show up fashionably late or something to the after using the bathroom.
Ate a lot of food.
I literally just went outside and pissed outside like an animal, and then came
in. Well, I mean, it does kind of A, fit medieval aesthetics, and B, fit your lack of civility.
Right. Right past the bathroom. Yeah. Okay.
Like you probably buried it at least. Like you're not an animal.
But yeah, in that case, I don't know which doors are unlocked, but Carl will find a seat next to his mother, who kind of raises an eyebrow at him and glances to the empty seat to the other side, and he just kind of shakes his head. He knows Nikolai is not coming. But yeah, Ayakobachi, you kind of wander in, and this is just as she's finishing her introductions to the other esteemed guests that are joining us this evening. They also wish to welcome you and to congratulate you on this wondrous thing you have all done for us. And she gives them names. They are Halik, Madalena, and Amalthea, though I will not expect you to necessarily write them down unless you plan to interact with them. But yes, you see they're all clearly well-to-do, perhaps not as noble as she is, but probably wives of merchants or business owners here in town, though she does not elaborate on who precisely they are. And as you arrive, Ayakobachi, she nods to you and turns to the group. I am so very glad that you could all join me tonight. I thought perhaps, though the town has celebrated, that we might all celebrate once again together. And she will grasp her goblet, which you As you, I believe, raided the sitting room once before, Ralmir, it's literally solid gold. A toast with the finest wine from my cellar. To those who have come from beyond the fog. And she gestures at the windows, revealing that sort of stained glass tapestry, as it were, showing you all as conquering heroes, overcoming Lord Strahd. To bring us all into an age of freedom and enlightenment. And to those who have sent their aid from below, that we may have brought this day to pass. And you see a flicker of confusion on Carl's face, but she moves past it very quickly. This bounty is not mine, it is ours. And she looks to each of you and to the women in the corner. And I wish to offer you payment for services rendered. Now that we all stand to inherit Valaki, she gestures to herself and Carl and the women. Well, more payment from my vaults seems only fair. Carl, if you would. And he will stand, grab a box, and give one to each of you. I think I will simply put these in your inventories. They are all, of course, of varying size. Okay, that's Narlug. This is Ervir. This is Ralmir, who, as that is handed to you, she will have something to say, but give me just 1 second. And then this last one is for Ayako Bachi. Ralmir, as you receive this package and open it to reveal this beautiful, extremely finely made leather bracer. That one in particular was received as a gift from a trusted friend. And her eyes glance downward. Now, while the 9 hells are not literally down in any real sense, that is certainly a common way to refer to them. I asked and they answered, and perhaps, given your lineage, they knew the importance of giving a gift fit for someone truly special. And yes, she will look around as you open your presents. Do those all appear in each of your inventories correctly?
No.
It should be in your journals. I think if I show this to players...
It would show it to everybody.
Did that pop up for you, Ralmir?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
Oh, I forget how attunement works. How many things I could... Is that one thing I can have attunement to, or...?
I believe it is more than that.
I think it's 3.
1 second. Yes, I was going to say 3, but I want to check if that is correct.
Some classes get more, like Artificer gets like 4 or 5.
It is more than 1, though.
Yeah.
Okay. It's armband and dagger strip.
Yep. An item can be attuned to only 1 creature at a time, and a creature can be attuned to no more than 3 magic items at a given time.
Okay. Yeah, because I think on Travis I had a couple of things that were attunement, but I couldn't remember. This armband piece.
Both Ervir and Narlug will probably realize that those things were re-gifted, as it were, as might you, Ayako Bachi.
Yeah, what Yakubachi will hold up a smoky pyramid-shaped glass bottle, and he'll look at it and be like, "Okay, this is pretty nice."
I believe you will find it is more than the simple light source that it appears to be. And as he holds it up, it's, about the size of a potion bottle, but inside there are little motes of light that kind of orbit around each other in a constant swirl. Take the time to commune with it so that you may understand. It does not require attunement, but you can identify in a short or on a long rest, I believe. So, you'll understand the full properties. They don't exactly come with little spell cards that tell you exactly what they do. Mm-hmm. Same thing for you, Ervir. That beautiful brooch, for you actually does only take, I believe, a single round until you understand what it does.
Yes.
But yes, you can see that a lot of the energy has been depleted.
It is literally a third of a magic item.
But also it is a third of a legendary magic item, and the passive effect is quite good.
Yeah, that does not consume charges.
Yes. And yes, Narlug pulls out a rather fancy pair of brown slippers. And they have like a faint web-like pattern that runs across them, but those slippers of spider climb are maybe common enough that it's a thing you guys would all be aware of. Ayako Bachi, as he holds them up, you notice that the front of them, like right over where the toe would go, there is a monogram. And it's an elaborate golden M surrounded by 8 golden circles, which looks identical to the mark you found in the woods.
Okay.
Ralmir, well, I don't think you understand immediately what the bracer would do. As you pick it up and probably try it on, you would notice the 2 obvious slots for daggers. And she will simply, with a little wave and a smile, I think you will find that those shall fill themselves. You shall not ever have to use your own. I hope you understand. While I certainly gave you a gift that will assist you if you must get close to your enemy, well, for someone so important, I wish that you perhaps had an option to remain further if necessary. And also, I will point out, while that does allow you to make 2 attacks, only one of them will benefit from sneak attack.
Yeah, okay. That's.
It's once per round.
It's once. Yeah. Okay.
Well, sneak attack itself is once per round.
Oh, right. Well, I don't have to worry about the daggers running out. So.
Right. They are infinite, but point being, you can throw 2 as a single action, which rogues normally cannot do.
Ew.
You normally get only a single attack.
So, are these are these just regular, like, theoretically, like, damage wise though? Are they like regular daggers?
Yeah, they are treated as daggers that are magical, but they do not have bonuses to damage or anything. So for certain things that are only vulnerable to magical damage, they will count as magical.
Okay. But they're just like they would be just like the regular. Like the 1d4 plus 4 for me then, or
correct, 1d4 plus 4 each, and then if you are within 30 feet, which I believe is the maximum range of a thrown dagger anyway, you can still apply your sneak attack at range if you have advantage on the attack for some reason, i.e. coming out of stealth. So sneak attack does not have to be melee.
Yeah, that makes sense. I never really tried to do a sneak attack with
But yeah, if you're like hiding, popping out and throwing daggers, and then hiding again, you actually will get sneak attack, for example, because coming out from hide, you have advantage on the attack.
Ew.
Yes. And Mike, again, I'm sorry for giving you a third of a magic item, but that effect is too good to give you the entire thing.
It's actually insane. I just thought it was funny how used is in parentheses.
Yes.
Okay.
It does literally say used. Ayakabachi, I hope you think that's neat. I thought it was on theme for Druid and also very good.
It's very cool. With the charges, are those just individual per the thing? And it's just
per
like
each
7?
Spell. Yes. So it's a total of 8, right?
I mean, there's no total on here, so I'm not sure.
Oh, total is 7. I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so 7. Okay.
So the golden, some of the golden ones have been used,
Yeah,
but there are 3 of each of the other 2 remaining.
Okay. So it's 7 usage, but okay, I see what you're saying. Perfect.
Yes.
Got you.
But yes, so each one has individual charges. Once you use, that, you'll just mark it off, or I'll mark it off. Actually, let me do you a favor. Let you edit it that so that you can track that in there.
Okay.
So you have edit permissions on that.
Okay.
Oh, I'm having a horrible realization right now, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It would make sense that this isn't inscribed, but it probably came from the same place.
Perhaps. Man, that seems like a whole bunch of really magical shit, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think, Narlug, you probably get a Arcana roll here. Arcana or History.
All right.
Bone, dude.
Arcana.
DC 5. Because this guy
Let's go.
comes up all the fucking time. I don't know if anybody else gets this roll, but you've seen this name. That M and those 8 circles. There's a very famous wizard. You don't know why the fuck his symbol would be on these, but Mordenkainen. His name comes up. It's in the name of several big spells. For example, Mordenkainen's Magnificent Mansion, or Mordenkainen's Faithful Watchdog. And the Circle of 8 is a interdimensional group of wizards. What the fuck are these doing here?
Pretty sweet slippers, though.
Yes, but he's one of the big ones, and you maybe as a player, or maybe just as Narlug, would know of several of the other names. Tensor, Melf, I believe even Tasha. They're all those big names that are the names of spells are the Circle of 8.
And they were just chilling in this chick's house.
What?
A mystery to be investigated.
Yes.
That is not what I would take that smash brooch that Yakobachi found earlier to mean.
Maybe she fucked him up. We'll talk about it later.
I should say also,
That would be hard to believe.
Right.
Though that is a medallion, it does not have to be worn in the pendant slot. I don't remember if you're wearing an amulet already. It just has to be on your person.
Belt buckle.
Or even in your pocket. But yes, seeing you kind of inspect all of these things, I hope, beyond hope, that not only shall these gifts assist you in your continued crusade against Lord Strahd, but that they will serve as a equivalent exchange for the service you have done for both me and our city. The people here were truly downtrodden. And though I understand, in the eyes of those such as yourselves, it is likely that you think I shall not be different. But I wish to assure you. And she leans forward and puts both of her hands on the table, rings glinting in the candlelight. I meant what I said today. Things must change with the times. Simply continuing to squash the townsfolk under our heel is not the way forward. I do intend for things to change. And in fact, I recognize that greatness does not come from squalor. The gifts that my family have been given over the years, they have led me and my boys. And she looks to Carl, and there's a brief flickering of maybe sadness as she looks to the empty chair where Nikolai should be. They have raised us up, and I wish to give back so that more here may be raised up in turn. Not just to wealth, But to greatness, we will need strong leaders in order to stand against the darkness. And she leans back and folds her head, or her hands together, just kind of bows her head a little bit. I know you like to ask for it, Ralmir, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say insight if you'd like.
Yeah, I mean, because it doesn't sound like what she's saying is it doesn't sound like she's like lying or anything, but I don't know if she has like double meaning, so.
Ooh, is that a crit? It is. She's not lying, no. And as you watch her and you watch the way her eyes sort of flit around the room and the seriousness on her face, what you understand is not so much that she doesn't mean what she says, but that perhaps she means to use that to a different end than she might be implying. When she says that there must be strong leaders and that all must be uplifted, it sounds to you almost more like she wants to, if not militarize the town, sort of encourage people to start taking up arms in the same way that you adventurers have. She's going to begin to push people, once they have more full bellies and more proper rest, to begin to fight back against what Strahd has done to these lands. And while that sounds like it could be a good thing, there's a nagging feeling in your gut. Sure, you rose up from nothing, you forged your own path, you became a very skilled rogue and skilled adventurer. But does giving peasants swords and sending them against an immortal vampire sound like a good idea?
How many corpses of those that failed did you have to step over to get here?
And how many is she willing to use as stepping stones? And I think with a natural 20, that's what you get.
Okay,
is that
yeah.
The plan is to feed them into the grinder until she makes someone great.
And I figured, like, what's her end goal after Strahd?
Right.
Because it wasn't like
that. Go ahead.
Yeah, because it wasn't like I knew she wasn't like I feel like she with her character and everything. Like she's definitely believing everything she's saying though, but she just might be leaving a little bit of details out of motives.
Exactly. And I think that that's really the key for the insight there. It's not to determine the lie, it's to determine the reason. And I think that with such a high roll is what you grab. That like, yeah, it sounds great, right? Wonderful. Lift up the proletariat, make everybody happy and healthy. But she doesn't really mean that. She means make everyone strong. And that's good. But after you beat the boss, what do you do with a standing army?
Rule.
And there sure are a number of other cities in this place.
Not to mention the awful dark symmetry of that's how Barovia came to exist in the first place.
So, but I think I might want
Strahd's invading army and all that.
I think I'm going to find Nicola and have a little chat with them.
Might be a good idea. But yeah. I think with that, she would sort of invite you all to dine, invite you all to relax. And as, you get a little bit of wine in you, it certainly seems, and I think I can imagine how you all might react, but maybe there's one here. This is your chance, Narlug. Each of the three ladies begins to kind of hang off of your arms. Other than Ralmir.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
So
I could be a wingman.
Not immediately bothered, but and I don't know if I really want to flirt with Dave in character, but you do notice that they'll like kind of, laugh at your jokes and kind of one of them touches your cheek a little bit, but it seems like she's kind of almost too obviously attempting to honeypot
Right.
three.
My joke is,
and
we said, give us your kids.
Frank. You're not wingmanning for Narlug. Fucking, they're all wingmanning for Lady Wachter.
Yes. That is
yeah,
kind of clearly what's happening here.
Narlug, if obviously if the ice has already been broken, you could send me over as a dog. I could be Dogobachi with like a limp paw, and you'd be like, "Oh, my dog, you found him! Thank you so much."
Boom. Narlug's gonna give you that wink. Yeah. That terrible orc wink that he does.
You know.
Is that just a blink?
Yeah, right.
I'm upset that Irvir has the reservation to not outwardly tell Narlug that he has in fact found a lady of the night.
But I shall just say, this is your opportunity. If you wish to take one of these random noblewomen back to your bedroom.
Dude, Narlug's going for all three. He's greedy.
And if I assume Irvir just kind of brushes that off. But
he only had 10 gold at first, but now he's got 244, man. We can afford all three of these.
Irvir should hopefully be able to tactfully sidestep and dodge any sort of advances without outwardly rejecting.
Pardon me, ladies, leave room for Jesus.
Or you just
just sleeps all three of them. Upstairs.
Sleep, drag them up the stairs. Thunk, thunk, thunk. But yes.
I mean, you could. Irvir can just go up to them and then ask if they've read the books of Kalimdor.
Right. Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior Kalimdor?
The vibe, dude.
Yeah, right.
It's chill, dude. Come on.
We're gonna talk about raping and pillaging, and you just come over here with your books.
Irvir dumps out his wine and refills it with water. But yes, the night progresses onward and will turn into as much of a party as you wish it to be, Narlug, or Ayakubachi for that matter. But as kind of things die down, Rolmir, she will ask that you stay back. And I'm sure there's at least a little bit of a wince, and she... Please, I understand that I am hardly the beauty that those three are. That is not why I wish to speak with you alone. I wish to say that if you would stand beside me, not as any sort of companion in that manner, but as another voice to lead my followers. They have seen you. They have seen the workings that I and my dearest, and she reaches up and she pets the empty space on her shoulder that the imp occupies. You can see the little claw marks in the fabric. But you are a miracle made manifest. Our prayers to those that dwell below, well, they have been answered in more ways than just that bracer that rests upon your arm. I still believe that Bel has sent you to us, and I still believe that you will lead us to a new dawn in more ways than simply killing Lord Strahd. Please do consider if you would perhaps attend one of our meetings properly. Let our alliance be known openly, at least within those who are most trusted.
Let me know day and time.
She smirks and she kind of chuckles and can't help herself. Well, usually it is a night and time, but I shall. The next time things have quieted down and there is time for us to hold a proper meeting, I will let you know, and you shall stand at my side. And she will reach up and just kind of pat your cheek and offer you a little bow again.
I got a big smirk.
Yeah, big smirk.
But yes, she would just kind of let you all go to do what you were going to do. And to that end, it sounded like you wanted to try and find Nikolai.
Yeah, I wanna. Well, I mean, if I'm getting invited to like a big cult meeting, that kind of helps.
At some point in the future, not necessarily right now, but.
But yeah, it's just so I can get. 'Cause he probably has some more. Because he doesn't seem like he's too keen on the whole cult stuff.
Right. It sounded like, based on what you overheard as you walked in, though Ayakabachi hasn't had time until you would step out front to kind of fill you in. I think you can assume both Nikolai and Carl probably were not fully in on it. There are secret meetings that he knows about, but I think seeing her literally stab a man in front of him was like a line crossed, and you could tell for sure, even in the brief snippet that you heard, that he is not on board with that. And yeah, you've heard from Irina. The Walker boys have, shall we say, a reputation for occasionally roughing people up, but never without reason. People who owed them money for gambling debts that they didn't exactly force anyone into. And sure, they throw their weight around as we are the sons of Lady Walker. How could you possibly expect your word to mean anything more than ours? They're not good people, but they're not necessarily devil-worshipping cultists.
Yeah, they seem like more like little shits than
Right.
like petty shit than trying to
Seems like a pretty good descriptor. They are noble little shits, but well, that only goes so far. And unlike Victor Valakovich, neither one of them, as far as you've heard, ever trapped a girl in an attic and carved her up.
I mean, there was Nikolai that was that punched Victor, right?
Correct.
Yeah, good reason for it.
He did. Certainly did. But yeah, if Narluk, are you staying behind with your three ladies of the night?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, Narluk.
Narluk's quest is complete. He's ready to go back across the fog.
Achievement. Sure, all three of them will follow you upstairs happily for a wild night of new experiences for you.
Oh, so that's what I do with this thing.
You didn't even have to club any of them over the head. Ayakobachi, are you following Ervir and Rolmir out?
Yeah, I'll follow them out and fill them in once we get alone.
Okay.
Fill in any information I got.
So then the three of you, you can kind of like, as you're walking away from the house, kind of, have a hushed conversation about all of this. And I think all of you would collectively come across Nikolai outside the gates of the manor, just kind of pacing up and down in front of the large wrought iron gates that lead to the estate, just like furiously smoking a cigar. And like you can see him having some sort of conversation with himself, and he's just like alternately like pausing as he like deeply inhales and just like exhales and just kind of shakes his head, but spends his time alternating, just kind of like gesturing wildly at nothing and crossing his arms as he paces back and forth. But hearing the sort of scrape of your boots on the gravel, would look up and at least like briefly compose himself, throw his hair back, and kind of like straighten his posture. And almost with like a hint of contempt, well, thank you very much for everything you have done to assist my mother in achieving the goals she has laid out for herself. I'm sure things will be wonderful and prosperous in this grand new dawn she sees for our city. And he offers you an almost sarcastic, like full formal bow.
I'm trying to think of what's a good thing to say to him, though. Just
He does seem a bit drunk as well.
He does seem a little bit drunk.
Yeah.
Irvir, you got something to cure drunkenness?
Actually, yes.
But I don't think I have it prepped. I don't.
Oh.
I could do it.
You have a lesser restoration ready to go?
Yes, and I'll just slap the shit out of him, and it just lesser restoration. I'm just slap him drunk. I started preparing because I was like, it might come in handy.
That's funny. So you're literally gonna slap him with it?
Yeah. I'm not trying to hurt him, but I am gonna.
Yeah. But just like it's kind of like lightly across the face.
Yeah.
And there's like a moment of like, clear like, what the fuck? And he just like sobers up instantly, and he's like, what the? And you see him like go to do the noble thing of how dare you, and kind of puts the hand down and just sighs.
Yeah. Well, I figured. I don't know. I guess this is kind of just like out of character. Me saying it's like it's a good idea to let him in on.
I think you guys can certainly share a look asking that question.
I kind of like shrug to like look over at Irvir. It's like it's a good idea to let him know our plans because we are trying to kill his mom. But
he rocks his head from side to side, hoping that you catch his drift of like, not all of it, but
yeah, to kind of let him know that I'm weary of her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, enough to be like, we're not throwing our lot in with her.
Yeah, so I don't know. Do we invite him over to the inn to like just so I could like sit down and talk to him, or
that was going to be Irvir's plan.
Okay.
Yagobachi would be like, "Let me buy you a drink."
I sober you up.
Sober, yeah. Let's get you a drink.
I think that moment of confusion like is enough for you to just like snake an arm around his shoulder and kind of steer him off. And like there's a bit of muttering like as you kind of walk him off, and it's not far. You're going from Walker House up here to the actual like Blue Water, not too far away. But just like it has been a confusing day. But thank you for whatever you did with and I assume, your hand glows and everything as you do that. So like I think he sees magic. Why not? Suddenly I find myself not questioning whether or not another drink is a good idea. And yeah, he'll follow you all back. There are still people kind of scattered around outside. A couple kind of collapsed from too much drink, a couple inside slumped over tables and whatnot. But seemingly quickly, Danica and Erwin were able to rally enough people to kind of tidy up the place. And I guess the question is, do you want to bring him up to your private room? Do you want to try and find a quiet table in the corner? What would you like to do?
You want
private room type shit?
Sure.
Yeah, I would say the room.
Yeah, come on up.
Yeah.
I'll just step into our office.
Fair enough. As you kind of move through, I think you would spot Borden and Relda and Von Richten all sitting together and talking in a corner. Who offer you just like a little nod, and Borden with like a big wave and a beam, big beaming smile. But as you head upstairs, they shoot you a look like, do we need to come along? And I assume the answer is no. But
yeah, this is more of just a chat.
Fair enough. And yeah, soon you find yourselves at the simple little table in your private quarters, the three of you and Nikolai. Pour drinks from whatever bottle you've got on hand, and
I think we could grab a pitcher from the bar on the way up.
Sure. Certainly easy enough. And yeah, sets out the cups, and he will actually pour for you since you guys got the wine. and he'll kind of kick back in that lazy affectation you've seen from before, like one arm over the back of the chair, the other one with the glass. And he drains like half of it in one go. I apologize if I was, too full of snark when you came out of Walk Their House. You see, I meant what I said. It has been a interesting day. Perhaps a little too interesting. I hope you will not take any meaningful offense.
Nope. It's been a day.
He hesitates.
I think Ervir will hold a finger up. Has to wait.
He stops.
And cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
And I know that the imp is invisible, so I won't see the aura, but it does say if you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura, so I should be able to at least sense the invisibility.
Okay. And it's no longer a cone, right? Now it's just a 60-foot range?
30 feet.
30. Okay.
But the idea would be to make sure it's at least not in the room with us, and maybe
the room is like
poke
10
my
by
head
20.
out the door.
And if you poke your head out the door, there's a lot of magic in the blue water, actually. Certainly, you get a faint signal from all of the Martikovs. You get a couple faint signals up under the attic where you recognize that there were a lot of ravens before. There's a number of, spots in the walls that kind of radiate soft magic. But Danica has mentioned there's all sorts of hidey holes around.
Yeah.
But what you're looking for, there is no signature in the room other than all of you, and there's a ring that Nikolai is wearing that seems to be magical. But no, there's no, shall we call it a disembodied signature that you're picking up. And I understand what you're going for, sweeping to see if you can magically smell an imp. And no, nothing seems to be in range.
Cool. And also no clairvoyance, so that's nice.
Yes, also that.
It's always reassuring to know that that's not there. Because there's always the ongoing anxiety that it's always watching, and you never know. You can only cast Detect Magic so many times.
I was just going to say, you can't always have that up. Who knows what they're listening on. But yes, Nikolai, kind of watches you, your eyes glow, and you kind of, pan around, and he looks a little bit anxious, but as you close the door again and sit down, what was all of that about?
We can speak safely here, without worry of unwanted ears listening in. I'm sure you're aware of the little pet your mother keeps. Or are you?
He fidgets. I'm aware that there is something strange attached to her, though I know not exactly what it is. I have noticed signs of something lurking, things moving when they should not. But she always refers to it as a guardian of our family. And never seems interested in elaborating beyond that. But he gives you a pointed look, and though he doesn't ask what it is, there's kind of a question in his gaze.
He's absolutely going to just flat out make the point. It's a demon. A familiar.
Devil, you racist.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I'm sorry. I
yes,
Brawlmere was
devil.
the devil, and that she is fucking with demons.
Quasits are the demons, which are basically imps. But yes, no, it is an imp, and therefore it is a devil. Bell is also one of the greater devils.
I don't know if everybody knows that though, but
that's okay.
He should at least know that difference for the
yes
devil.
Just sorry, I didn't mean to.
Familiar, most likely.
Like using the hard R. Devil.
He sits back a bit in his seat, and you can almost see it play out on his face. The wondering whether or not to believe you, the doubt, the look back over all of you, particularly a lingering look at Ralmir. And you are certain of this?
Oh yeah,
absolutely positive. And I'm starting to think we might be on the same side.
Hang on, this is a lot to process. Why would such a fiend be attached to her? Why, you say a familiar. This is a term I have read, but not one I am intimately familiar with. I didn't mean to use that word twice. Some sort of servant.
Yes.
And I'll let Ralmir explain it.
And then I'm just double checking though, in order to have the imp though, she had to do a sacrifice, right?
Probably. You certainly haven't seen the spell book around. Yes, probably a pact is your guess. You're I think just both your personal experience with cults and also you guys as adventurers, you would assume probably warlock, not a wizard or sorcerer.
Didn't we find her pact tome?
You found something she had written about the wonders of making. Let's see, where is it? It was a case with an unbound manuscript titled "The Devil We Know," which is a poetic manifesto written by Lady Fiona Walker attesting that worship of devils can bring happiness, success, freedom, wealth, and longevity.
Devils are my bag, baby, by one Fiona Walker.
And yes. Yeah, so you would think probably some sort of sacrifice, be that a blood sacrifice or something else. Devils don't tend to make pacts freely.
Yeah, so I'll just kind of just summarize that though. So it's like your mom probably had to make a pact to get that imp though. So and she basically made a deal with the devil to get that. And then wait, what's Lady Walker's first name?
Fiona.
It is okay, so she was the one who wrote the manuscript then?
She wrote that manuscript, yes. There was a very, very old letter that was hidden in the same spot. But that was Lovina Walker. And given how old that parchment was, that was to Lord Vasily von Holtz, the same name that was attached to the vampire spawn that you found. That seems to be an ancestor. But yeah, Fiona is her first name.
Okay. I was going to say, didn't she mention that it's actually been like a generational thing?
Yes. And he did as well. A spirit that has watched over our family. But that's not how familiars work, right? So maybe really what was passed down was the method required to obtain one.
Yeah.
But yeah, he kind of winces at all of this, and you see him I had suspicions about these secret meetings that she has. But today, what I saw her do with all of you there, I am confused. I thought you were in some way in league with her.
In some ways, yes. Sometimes our interests will line up. That piece of shit had it coming.
and he would smile softly. So he did.
And so did a certain tyrant that kept his boot to the necks of the people.
And yet, to see her do such a thing herself, and so calmly, so without hesitation.
Probably not the first time she did it, huh?
It certainly would seem that way. This is a lot to process, but what are you trying to tell me? That
That you can trust us.
And he hesitates, and he looks around the room. There has certainly been a lot that you have done, not just for my family, but for the people of this city. And a lot of risk that you have placed upon yourselves to do so. If it were anyone else, if I had not seen what I saw, but fine. How do we stop this thing? How do we remove it from her? You see, he doesn't fully understand.
I don't
Just
think.
make that face like. Ugh.
Yeah, I was like,
Stretch his collar out a little bit.
Ay, ay, ay.
how the fuck do I word this?
But I think, yeah, go ahead. He's not so stupid as to miss the winces, though. Go ahead.
I'm going to. I'm just gonna ask him. Do you think, like, we can? You want her to get this devil removed from her, or?
Yes, removed from her.
Is that what you want? Is that what you're trying to imply?
Again, he's not stupid. He's just not educated in the ways of these things. And he sits back and... Wait. I thought what we were discussing is that this thing might have had some sway over her. But that does not sound to me like what you are implying.
It's quite the opposite. She commands it.
It is her pet. It doesn't have a control over her. She has mostly control over it.
And even if we kill it, it'll go back to its own plane, and she can simply resummon it.
Mother Knight, protect me. This is a lot. Oh.
I'm gonna pour him
Maybe
some more.
We should. As you pour the wine, maybe we should back up and you should let us in on a little bit of what you know.
Narlock's gonna be like, you think that's a lot? Try handling 3 girls.
On the same page of what we think we might be dealing with here.
He nods. I think perhaps that might be best. And though I hate to stop in the middle of a conversation, there is a big lore dump incoming. And given that we're drawing to the end of our session, I think as you pour another round of drinks and you settle in for what might be an uncomfortable explanation, perhaps we'll draw this session to a close, if you're all okay with that.
Mm-hmm. I gotta
good
take
progress
a shit.
made. Yeah, fair enough. Good progress made. A personal achievement unlocked for Narlug, who is
that a milestone level up?
Right? Tempting. Well, funnily enough, it will be.
I get inspiration. Do I get inspiration next session?
You can take your inspiration for next session. But
Fuck
also,
yeah.
yes, there will be a milestone level up this evening. As the coup in Valaki has, for at least phase 1, been resolved.
I feel like we just leveled.
I know. That's how milestones work. Sometimes they come.
We do need it
very rapidly. Yes, you do. So yeah, for next session, feel free to go ahead and level up. Obviously, it won't take place until you long rest, but unless you plan to attempt to murder Nikolai, I don't see fights breaking out before you rest.
It does not seem that way. I don't want to fight him.
I'm posting my item just because I like sharing, and I don't know if it spells anything, but you don't have to share yours. But I just want to.
No, it doesn't.
I think it's cool.
Oh, I could share mine.
I think that's a real cool item. I hope you like it. I did build that from scratch.
Already thinking of like what I use it for. It's pretty cool.
I know you are fond of unique uses for things, and also those spells have some interesting secondary uses.
Very similar to Ervir, when your main build is concentrating on something, it's nice to have something to give you something to concentrate on something else. So it like opens up your spell book again. Where before you're just like you're cut down to. Just not
I see Mike linked his in game, but that's there as well.
Oh, you put it in Discord.
I mean, I could just put my. I'll just put the copy and paste the description in the Discord.
Yes. I think yours is really interesting too, Frank.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's cool.
Funnily enough, that's actually so. These are all pulled from elsewhere because you guys have dove far deeper into this than the module supports. That is from what's it called? Dragon Heist. But I think that is a particularly cool item.
What, racers?
Yeah. And also seems just like a really good thing for a rogue. It gives you an option, although it specifically requires you to use daggers as a weapon to make 2 attacks in a round, which again, you don't always have the chance to do.
Wait, so do I have to have, like, since, like, the daggers, like, they're made, so, like, I can still be, like, holding my rapier, right?
Yeah, we could say that.
Yeah.
If you wanna put a bracer on your right arm so you can draw them with your left, that's fine.
I mean, I just want to make sure I'm doing this, because I don't know if I need to have, like, a dagger.
No, you don't need to, like, drop, you don't need to, like, drop the sword to do it. But I would add a dagger attack roll to your sheet. If you don't.
I have one on there.
Okay.
Oh fuck! You have me in the first paragraph, dude.
Right.
As soon as I saw that the bottle candles the concentration.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like perfect for like somebody like who's concentrating on shit all the time because.
That's like the bottleneck for so many classes, including fucking ranger, dude.
I know you see it with yours, you see it with druid, you see it with all that. I mean, you just concentrate. Dave's over here throwing fireballs left and right, hasting the fuck out of people. Having all types of
and also, as simple as it might seem to get slippers, think about what that really means for you, Narlug. You don't have to be in melee like ever. You can just be stuck to the ceiling at all times, out of range of everything.
Definitely spider walking, dude.
Spell?
Say what, Mike?
Is that level 2 or level 3 spider climb?
Level 2 spider climb.
Yeah, you just permanent level 2 spell active all the time.
Yep.
Walk up a tree. Now your turn.
I can walk up a tree, walk down a tree, walk around a tree.
Sideways on a tree. Yes, walk in a circle.
Your worst enemy, just like it always has been, is a big open area. Because if it's a tight room that has a ceiling, Dave can just stand there and fireball the shit out of stuff and just wreck shit because they can't get away. But a big open area.
Who needs fly when I can walk up walls?
Right?
What's the thing? Like, yeah, but what? There's a window 80 feet up, a sheer stone wall? Well, okay, well, I'll just stroll on up there.
Right, and then my buddy Spidopachi is right next to me. We're going up together. As I carry Realmir in my giant
Right.
arms. You know what I mean?
And Irvir sits on the ground sadly.
Just waits for the
I'll be here, guys.
Right. You get Narlug to reduce one, Ayakabachi reduces the other before he transforms.
Go.
Tiny Ralmir and Irvir hanging on to the
Riding
back of the
Spider
spiders.
Bachi. Yes. Hell yeah.
But yeah, good session, guys. I had a lot of fun.